Chainsaw Man.
Is it rolling? Is it rolling?
I don't know. I'll leave you to. Yes, it is. I'm gonna just do a fun little. I'm just gonna count how many things we have on the screen now.
You're counting the assets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 20. Somewhere between like 25 and 27.
So for context, Red's OBS is like 5 seconds worth of lag.
It's struggling. It's struggling. There's too many PNG. You see that sexy motorcycle PNG? That's the newest edition.
Yes, you are looking at Cloud's motorcycle.
That was all Vex's idea. Okay.
I'm like, what kind of crossover can we do here? And I'm like, I mean, I love motorcycles. That's the thing I used to drive when I could drive.
I want to discuss the elephant in the room very slightly here, which is that, like, guys, I'm aware that we are a dead channel. Like, but like, I've thought long and hard about this. YouTube and retention, so much of it lies on doing things in a timely manner and in a consistent schedule. But, like, it's just so difficult with, like, the adult lives we live. But I don't want to stop making stuff. So, like, as long as we have the couple people that still show up here and like, we enjoy it, so that's just where I'm at. So I'm sorry about that, guys. I know it's probably frustrating to see a channel that you liked kind of dwindle. I know how that feels. But, like, we'll always be here.
I mean, we were both Rooster Teeth fans at one point in time.
I know how that feels. But I just want to say we will always be here in some capacity. You know what I mean? Like, I like making stuff. It's just I have to, like, adjust to how my life is currently, and I'm exhausted mentally and physically at the moment. I'm hoping that
I'm more recharged than Red right now.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try to go out and
touch some grass.
Yeah, I'm literally gonna touch grass today. I've been playing too much Zelda the last couple of days. Zelda.
You've had a crazy 2 weeks, and I've been on basically a 2-week vacation.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I took a promotion at my work, and I have a lot more responsibilities. It's almost like society and oh god, you can't even say society anymore without sounding like society. Maybe the Joker was onto something, huh? No, it's I don't know.
We don't want to condone Arthur Fleck Joker. We want to condone Mark Hamill. The IRS is one motherfucker we don't want to.
I'm not like a socialist. I am a socialist. No, but there's a quote in volume 21 of Bleach, and it's the one with Shinji on it. And you know how, like, everyone has like a poem.
Mm-hmm.
His poem it's very simple. It's just everything in this world exists to wear you down.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. You know what I mean? And like it's just, if you think about it, right? We're like rocks slowly being tumbled by waves, like losing our edge, right? Lately I've been feeling age hitting me,
I told you.
I'm 29, but I don't want to let it. I'm very determined to not let it get me down. I mean, if I have to go back to therapy, I will. Every once in a while, I just want my energy back. If I have to get addicted to Monster, I'll do that. We'll figure it out. But
Gamer Subs is the healthier option. This is not sponsored, but like, I will 100% don't get super addicted to like regular energy drinks. I say this as the motherfucker that has a dash button for a case of Red Bull.
Do you still have your dash? Did you ever have a dash button for those Reese's Pieces bags, or was that just?
Yes, but they don't deliver those during the summer because they'll just melt in transit.
True. Although, do you remember when you gave me? I'm getting such good memories. Do you remember when you gave me? You had like those. I don't know if it's not Girl Scouts, but like those chocolate bars that kids sell at like schools. That brand where it's
God, yeah, the world's finest.
Yes, and you had a couple and on like the floor of your room, and you were like, I don't know why you had those, but I was
because one of the neighbor kids was selling them. I just bought a box from them.
So I was like, ooh, can I have one? And then you were like, yes. And then I put it in my back pocket and I edited for like 5 hours, and then it was just melted. Liquid. And then I was like, oh, sick. And I opened it up and squeezed it into my mouth like an icing tube. That was top tier. That was godly.
I wish we had that on video. That was disgusting. Your ass chocolate.
It doesn't matter, bro. It was just melted. It was melted, and then it was in a fucking.
It wasn't like a stinky fart-induced chocolate. It was just regular melted ass chocolate.
It was also it was the one with caramel in it too, so it was like melted, but also had caramel all up in it.
Caramel is so based. If you don't like caramel, get the fuck out of here. No, but like you had your car breakdown over like the last.
Oh, that's another. Yeah, that's. See, thank you for reminding me. That's why I'm so tired for multiple reasons. I had to drop $850 on a fucking car. Like, okay, so within the last 3 weeks, I dropped 300 something on that new Zelda Edition OLED Switch. I dropped.
You bought the OLED. I am so proud of you.
Thank you. It's sexy as fuck, Vex. It's so sexy.
I want to get the Scarlet and Violet one so badly. Because I don't give a fuck about Zelda,
bro. It was a beautiful thing because I went into the GameStop because the pre-orders opened on that on like a Wednesday, and I thought about it and I was like, no, I'm gonna be smart and instead just get the Pro controller. But the Pro controller was fucking impossible to find, like impossible.
Dude, trust me, I collect controllers and it is impossible to fucking find.
Yeah. So by the way, there's gonna be a timestamp for when we start Chainsaw Talk, so don't worry. But so anyway, so the Pro controller, impossible. So then I'm like, okay, I guess I'll get the OLED. So I walk into GameStop on Friday. I'm like, hey, do you guys still have pre-orders of that? And he looks down and he's got like a sticker sheet of barcodes.
Yep.
And he's like, we have one left. And I was like, I'll fucking take it.
I'm still rocking a Gen 1 Switch.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was until 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I justified it because one, the OLED screen actually is like a lot better for handheld play. I don't know if you've seen one in person. It's sexy. It's like
I've played on one.
Much
really
brighter.
nice.
It's a little bigger. It's and then the other reason is my Joy-Cons were drifting, and like to get new Joy-Cons is like $80. So I was like, I might as well just get a new goddamn Switch.
They are doing free Joy-Con stick drift replacement for life now because they got sued into oblivion by Europe, so they have to.
Cool. Either way, I was like, fuck it, it's sexy.
So, for me, I've been on a 2-week vacation.
Do you mind if I finish?
Go ahead.
So just real quick. So anyway, I dropped like 300 on that, and then I had to drop 850 on my car because the carburetor was clogged or something. And then I dropped, of course, 70 on the game itself.
Games being 70 reeks, man.
It does
I fucking
suck.
hate it.
I will say if any of them deserve 70, like regardless of how you feel about Zelda, that game is chock fucking full. They work on those for like 5+ years. You know what I mean?
I respect it.
Yeah.
It's just I've been spoiled by open world games as an RPG fan for life. And to me, the idea of open world means like infinite quests, even if they're procedurally generated Skyrim.
Yeah, that's not what I'll be honest, open world isn't even like my whole thing, like to be honest with you. Like,
it's mine. So to me, Zelda being open world is like, this isn't really open world. I know it's egotistical as fuck for me to say that, considering how limited the software is and what's basically a handheld system. But I mean, I've been playing Final Fantasy since the original one on the NES. So any RPG or pseudo RPG to me has to have like a lot of choice, a lot of freedom. And it has to, for like an open world game, I've been spoiled by the Elder Scrolls and Fallout. So like for me, those games have to have like that kind of quest log.
Well, I like Zelda. First of all, there are plenty of like bullshit side quests in Zelda.
Oh yeah, the Koroks are what annoy the shit out of me. It was like collecting the feathers in Assassin's Creed 2. I'm like, motherfucker, I was just here.
But no, for me, I mean, first of all, what I will give Breath of the Wild, like those types of games specifically, is they made it really fun to like climb shit. Like I don't think I've ever played a game where it's funner to climb.
I will say the climbing in Breath of the Wild was phenomenal. It was on par with Assassin's Creed.
I think they perfected climbing in that game. Yeah, I mean, because like it makes me to the point where like if a game, it's very rare when like a game has fast travel, but like I'll choose not to because just running around is so fun. It just feels good, But anyway, no, I mean mainly for me, Zelda is the game that took, because I think we've talked about this. Like I'm not super into that like fantasy aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like if it's like too Lord of the Ringsy or like like early Berserk, like horses and armor and shit. But like Zelda was like the first and to for a while only game that like took that kind of like genre and aesthetic and made it into something I like, because they add enough like wacky new shit that isn't just that, you know what I mean? Like there's always like some weird magic or ancient technology or so. Zelda,
did you see the video where the dude glitched the entire map with the kinesis?
Are we talking Breath of the Wild or this new one?
Yeah, the Breath of the Wild. He got on top of a boulder, I believe it was, or some sort of pillar, and he glitched through the entire map to Ganon's castle.
I can see it, yeah. Dude, there's gonna be so much of that in this new one because they essentially have like a Fortnite build mode in this.
Yeah, I've seen.
Dude, it's wild, bro. I mean, there's gonna be. I've already seen people making like wacky flying machines. I've been making the weirdest shit. It's fun.
Essentially Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts mixed with Zelda.
But like better because like trust me, dude. Like it's I think you'd have fun with it. I mean, like it's hard to not have like fun with a game like this.
I'll get it eventually.
Yeah.
My backlog is 2 generations deep, basically.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll wait till I clear some more of that.
I'm at the point where I choose, like, 3 games a year to play, essentially. Like
I find that physically impossible, and I hate myself for it.
My games are going to be this year, this Zelda, Pikmin 4. Oh, did I tell you? I guess we don't really talk as much as we should. I know it's hella late, but I got into Hotline Miami.
Dude, it's so much fun. That was one of my... I love Devolver Digital.
Yeah, no, it's super fun. I mean, I played the first one and I'm like almost done with the second one now.
They're working on a third one.
I don't think I heard because like I feel like I googled that and they're not.
It's been like leaked, like a development build of it. Because I follow the subreddit.
I hope it's real. I'd buy it.
I don't know how legitimate it is, but if it's the same dude that leaked it was the one that leaked Cult of the Lamb.
Well, like a couple weeks ago, I googled. Because like I got into it recently and I googled if that was going to be a thing and like I thought the
this was like a year and a half ago that this leak came out, so they could have DMCA'd the shit out of it when they did the Cult of the Lamb stuff. But like fucking Hotline Miami got me into like synthwave music and shit too.
Dude, the music's incredible, man. If you ever want to just feel like a badass, I know. Well, first you'd have to get a car, but then like, drive through bumping that Hotline Miami music. You feel like a
badass. God, yeah. It's such a good soundtrack.
On my way to literally assassinate everybody. On my way to do a shooting. Boom, boom, boom.
On my way to do a school shooting.
Bro, one of my favorite fucking retweets. Did you see? There was like a couple people got Tears of the Kingdom like early. Somehow.
Yeah, I know somebody that did.
There was someone had it like 2 weeks early, and there was someone who was like literally like teasing and mocking Nintendo. They were like, "What are you gonna do?" He's like pointing at the TV, and then like someone retweeted it, and it was like Nintendo about to turn your apartment into a Hotline Miami level.
I saw that.
Oh, that's true.
Did you see Reggie?
Yes, he was like, "Don't test me."
I love Reggie so
He's been long since retired from being their guy, and he still plays the part. I love it.
He's so based. I love
him. There was a big meme for a while, because people wanted like a localized version of Mother 3, the sequel to Earthbound.
He has one.
I'm sure he has his own one. Yes.
He took a picture of a safe with like a Mother 3 cartridge. He's like, every time I get tagged in this, I push it back another 5 years.
Yeah, it's like Gabe Newell on Half-Life 3, right? Say something similar.
Yeah, he did. I find it funny, like we got Half-Life Alyx, which is essentially fucking prequel.
Before we got a sequel. All I want is a Portal 3. That's all I want.
You got the fucking Aperture Desk life sim.
Fuck that. I played a bit.
It was fun.
Did I tell you about that mod I played that like added like time portals and shit?
No, you didn't.
It was fucking wild, bro. It was wacky. It's like, I mean, we're talking like it's like expert mode. Because like, so basically it adds a third portal. It's a square portal and it's a time portal, and you go basically future past. Because you know how like there's like in Portal 2 there's like those dilapidated like labs where it's like it's all like kind of fucked up and nature's reclaiming it. So that's future, and then past is like they're all clean and pristine, right? And the way it works is like you got to be careful to not create paradoxes, because basically if you create a portal in the past and you go to the future, that portal will still be there. But if you make a portal in the future and go to the past, it won't be there. So it adds just this like brain meltingly hard layer of complexity onto it.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, I need to get back into that. I played a couple levels and then I was like, okay, I need a break.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like Portal broke my brain originally because I suck at platformy puzzle games to begin with. So like
What I
Like,
learned was that I needed to just I need full focus. Like that's not a type of game that you can play because I feel like too many people these days they can't just like focus on one thing. If they're playing a game, they're like listening to a podcast in the background.
Me.
Or yeah, I know, right? But like what I notice is I'm not fully if I'm listening to a podcast while playing a game, I'm not fully appreciating either. I'm only half I'm half listening to the podcast and I'm half paying attention to my game.
Yeah.
I choose to focus on one thing. And if you're playing a game like Portal, you need to full focus.
Yeah, something like that you do, like something like Fortnite or Redfall. I was playing recently before it was just like the like I just had like a podcast playing in the
there are
background.
different.
Yeah.
It's like you can almost feel like the types of or like the area of your brain that has to like focus. Like there's some where it's like Hotline Miami is a perfect example. I can like listen to shit while playing that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like
Shut your brain
point
off
shoot.
and
yeah. But like a game that requires strategy, you really like I can't listen to shit. I got
so like back in the day I was like a Halo pro. So like up to Halo Reach, I was like one of the top ranked players, and I would just play fucking music in the background. Like I would play like really really intense
music's
metal.
a bit different because like you're not really like you can just let that play and not have to like hear it. Yeah.
But it almost like unlocked like my mind's eye, and I could just like fucking hyper focus listening to like metal and rap, playing shooter like that.
Yeah, music helps. I agree. Like I noticed that like at work. Like if I'm like working in silence, it's like harder. But if I work with music, it gives me like energy.
So like the most recent selfie I put out before I got banned from Twitter, you see like a neckband I'm wearing, and there's earplugs. Those earplugs basically are OSHA certified, like noise canceling, because like being older, I'm trying to take better care of my body in general.
Right.
And working with music in general, I'm like next to sound systems and speakers and shit.
Oh, good
constantly.
thinking. Yeah, if you're right next to those, that shit's crazy. Like, it's
So
stupid loud.
Yeah, dude. I'm going to get into like the vacation I've been on and the announcements in a second. But I've been using those. But they also have like Bluetooth headphones in them, and they also have like an active noise canceling. So when I'm talking to like the band members, like, what line do you want this at? Do you want your guitar on line 1? Do you want it on line 2, et cetera, et cetera? I can hear them, and it's really helpful. But I can also like bump whatever kind of music I want to listen to while I'm working, so I can just run through it doing all the stage work. I found that really helpful, and I tested them during like my orientation, because like the day I came back to upload the video Ann Arbor gave me for progression, I went and did my new day job orientation, and I toured the like shop floor and everything because I got a new job. I got laid off like right before I went on vacation. And then I just rolled right into another job because I was already looking for another job, because I could tell like when they're sending people home 4 out of the 7 days you were scheduled, you're like, this is a little sussy.
Oh yeah, when I worked at Firehouse Subs, they just like lowered my schedule until I was working 5 hours a week, and I was like, "Do you guys want me to quit?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, we can't afford you. But they offered me like full unemployment, but I've had so many part-time jobs recently, tracking down all that paperwork would not be worth it for the like 3 days I would be getting unemployment for. So I'm like, fuck it. So I've been working with Sharptone Records as like tour crew, and that's like the second most popular metal label. They're working with a super popular band right now called Sleep Token. They've been like mega viral, and I've got to do a bunch of shit. I'm also releasing my own music again. I'm working on a second EP. I talked about the first one in the Goodbye Airy.
Red has not listened to it, so if it's cringe, I do not condone.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Like, I'm actually like legit scared to listen to it because like there's nothing more soul crushing than bad music.
Yeah.
You know what so I'm like, I'm sure you could do well, but I'm like scared to listen to it because if it's bad, I don't know how.
Yeah. So I let like most of my stuff kind of just sit on its own, but I did put on my personal channel a cover that didn't fit with anything else that I was working on. Like I want to clear my hard drive, but this is a good cover.
Guys, if it's bad, let them down gently, okay? Or if it's good, then suck them off.
So I've been addicted to Bad Omens. So I did a cover of Death of Peace of Mind, and I was using it as like a chance to tool around with some other stuff I want to incorporate in the channel. So like visualizers instead of the static ass fucking background of the Discord call.
Yeah. Here's what I will say. I don't know a lot about the music world, but I think what Vex is doing is really cool because like he's out there like living his life. Like
Mhm.
he's genuinely like, tour crew for like a lot of, he's having cool experiences. I've seen videos of him like bouncing around on the stage and shit. That's really cool. I mean, like,
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
I got to play guitar with fucking Alpha Wolf, one of my favorite bands.
It's very cool.
I also got detained twice in the span of 48 hours.
You got to what?
I got detained in the span of 48 hours
Oh,
for traveling
yeah.
to Florida.
Gotta love
That was
that.
an experience.
I bet.
What
What was I gonna say? So
once
also
for having my let me finish this really quick. Once for having my hormones in Florida, and once because part of the act I was performing as part of the crew was lighting Leviticus on fire, which as a agnostic queer person it was super cathartic.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's cool.
security didn't clear with the fire crew and
Ha
all the people. I'm like, yeah, the paperwork just didn't make it in. Can I go now? And they're like, it's just a fucking book. We don't care. But next time, make sure the paperwork's all in order so we don't get called here.
I love like death metal groups that are like far left because like I don't know, it's kind of a coin flip because like normally you'd think like it's like punk shit is like very far left, but every once in a while you'll get like a weird one where it's like they're actually like
it's
no
the difference
snowflake. I don't know.
It's the difference between like Trapped, which was like a super popular band back when we were kids, who kind of seemed to lean left, but like their politics lean like hard right. Like they played for Trump and they went like fully like right wing psychopath to the point where like now Chris is the only member that was the original crew, and he's blocked me on every social media because I trolled him to hell one year. And then you have bands like fucking NoFX, and you have like all those like really, really hard left leaning like Magnolia Park, et cetera, that lean that way. And you really kind of get to dive into like the logistics and the mindset of the people that are in these bands. And it's really fun to kind of talk shop with some of them. The only reason I was in Florida is one of my buddies invited me down to see Spirit Box for the closure of their tour. And I'm like, I'm going to be here for 24 hours, right? And I don't want to be in Florida because it's already not safe for me as somebody transitioning. But I've always wanted to see this band. I didn't get to see them when they were in Michigan because they were in Detroit, and I was working that day, and it was a 16-hour shift. And being at the tour closer was always something really, really special. And then I was coming back to Michigan. I was performing with another band and then going to my birthday concert, where I was getting to be with Dayseeker and fucking Silver Sign and See You Space Cowboy. And like that 48 hours was the most chaotic, and then I flew right back out to Georgia and spent the rest of the time out in Georgia with my bassist. And I did not want to leave Georgia. I did not. It was so fucking peaceful out there in the country that it was like the most relaxed I've been in the last 10 years.
Yeah, it's like that to transition to Chainsaw Man. It's like the country mouse or the city mouse. I guess you're a country mouse, huh?
I guess you can't really get rid of the country in me.
No, it's interesting because like I find myself liking the city because I like events. I like to get out of the house and like do stuff. Even though I'm exhausted, like I find myself. Hold on, I had to blow my nose here. There's like
it's allergy season, man. Like I fucking hate it.
Yeah. Oh god. There we go. I got it out. Jesus. Ugh. You know when like a hard booger like falls and then it like goes like up your nose more? Because I'm like laying down on my back right now. It's gross.
We spent 45 minutes on not Chainsaw Man. I love it.
23.
23. Okay.
But anyway, Chainsaw Man. We're back. So there's really not a lot to talk about here.
There really isn't.
Hence the 23-minute update on our lives. You know what's interesting? It's kind of natural because like Vex and I. Honestly, and we should fix this, but we very rarely talk except for when we're filming these, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I like to keep doing it because it kind of keeps the friendship alive.
Yeah.
We should try to hang out more, honestly. It's just
I'm free the 20th. I've tagged you in like maybe doing the stream.
Right. Where though? Because I just really don't want to.
We can do
place
remote.
Makes me uncomfortable.
We can do remote.
That's true. Yeah.
You have the stream key to the Twitch, man.
True. What day is the 20th?
It's next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Maybe it would be fine. Okay. Yeah, we can try that out. Stream. What kind of stream? Like.
Fire Punch, maybe some multiplayer games. So just hang out, chat.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay. Maybe we could. I don't know, I'm trying to think if we could like invite anyone. Get Rios on again. I liked Rios. He was fun.
Yeah, he was fun.
Okay. So anyway, all right. 20. Okay. You know what? We're gonna start talking about Chainsaw Man right at 25 minutes, so it's an easy timestamp for me to remember. So 10 seconds. Okay. 10, 9, 8.
You really
7,
have a fucking countdown?
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chainsaw
Monster.
Man! We're here. I decided to talk to about Chainsaw Man right at 25 minutes, so it'd be an easy timestamp for me to remember. There's nothing to talk about in this chapter. I mean, not nothing, but it's very, very tiny. So I figured we would bullshit for 25 minutes beforehand. So here we are, Chainsaw Man, for like the most of the people that probably came right here. Vex, Chainsaw, motorcycle. Honestly, pretty fire.
Logistically
I don't give
impossible.
a fuck about your You told me earlier you were gonna be that like actually, and I disavow. Completely.
Actually, the balance would be completely off as the only motherfucker on this channel that's ever rode a motorcycle. But it's badass as fuck,
Shut
and I
the
love
fuck
it.
up. Listen to me right now. We will argue over this, okay?
It belongs to Devil May Cry, okay?
It doesn't matter about the balance because it's latched into the fucking ground. He is latched into the pavement. It's a chainsaw the size of a fucking car.
I don't care. Let me have my moment.
You didn't complain about the chainsaw fucking. Now I can't tell if I can't remember if I'm making this up or not. Didn't he like put them on his feet once to like dodge an attack or like move fast
I think
or something?
he did.
You didn't complain about that shit. Okay.
No, but I have real life experience on the back of a motorcycle.
But do you have real life experience on a motorcycle that's a chainsaw? I didn't think so.
No, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
You don't know that.
There are no laws in Chainsaw Man, but there are here.
Sure, whatever you say. No, I think it makes total sense as giant motorcycle sized chainsaws go. Listen, bro, I couldn't see any other any bigger setup to these two going to fuck than right now. I mean, that's classic. You ride off,
honestly, there's
ride off on the motorcycle with your girl. Come on.
Okay. Red, have you ever had car sex?
The most I've done in a car is fingering. That's probably the highest I've gone up. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Maybe it's because I'm chubby. I can't imagine fucking in a car. It seems very awkward.
It hurts like hell, but it's very fun.
I don't know if you've ever been as fat as I have. I don't know if that could work.
No,
I'll be honest. As a fat guy, there are specific positions that work and specific positions that don't. And like my thighs are too thick, brother.
The heaviest I've been was 220.
Oh my god. Well, that's the heaviest you've been?
Yeah.
Bullshit. Really?
That's the heaviest I've been.
No, there are pictures of you pretty fat. I was thinking at least
that was
240.
mostly muscle.
Well, fuck off. No, I'm talking.
But like, I was like peak body fat. I was like 65% body fat at 220 when I was in middle school.
So my fattest weight is 100 pounds heavier than you. My fattest was 320.
Yeah. And that was medication related for me.
And the worst part is my lightest I've ever been, keeping in mind that I'm like a half a foot taller than you.
Yeah, no shit, man.
My lightest I've ever been was 10 pounds heavier than your heaviest. My lightest was 230.
Yeah, but you're also like heavier because of your size too. Like weight and height factor in pretty well.
Well, anyway, are you so you're saying that fuck on the chainsaw motorcycle?
So like you're already dealing with the vibrations, which will be leading to an orgasm. I'm not saying that I've had sex on a motorcycle, but I've definitely eaten somebody out on my motorcycle.
How? Well, it was running. I'm so confused.
No, you can put it in neutral and just be in your parking lot, and it'd be basically a vibrator.
Nice. You know, it's so hard for me to all of your stories. I just never know if they're real or not.
I've done this once. And it was hard as shit. So I'm saying, like, as erotic as it is, I can't picture Dingy going down that path.
No, like we've mentioned many times earlier, if they have any sort of sexual encounter, it's going to be like the very awkward virgin first sex thing, because that's what they are. They're both that awkward virgin.
But I am saying it will lead to being put in a certain mood because of the vibration.
I mean, yeah, vibration's great, obviously. Yeah. Also, it's just cool. You know what I mean? Your endorphins are pumping. You know, and it's great. Now, I guess the only other thing to talk about here is we have that moment where it's like, hey, there he is. It's Chainsaw Man. Like, do the thing.
Do the thing we've been trying to do for 90-some chapters.
She's like, nah, actually, he saved my life.
Actually, he just saved my life, so fuck you, Yoru.
Well, we also have a good moment from Asa where it's just like, he's like, because the last couple chapters have been like, oh, find someone, between a cat and a murderer or whatever, you know what I mean? Like someone that's kind of a piece of trash and doesn't deserve to live. And like her I think character arc here was like, I think everyone deserves to live. You know what I mean? Like
and I like that.
Yeah, even if this guy's a piece of trash, I'm a piece of trash. And like this is a big moment for her because we've discussed how like in the past her thing was like putting down others to try to feel better about herself. Right. You know what I mean? Like with Denji, you're like, well, I'm not as bad as him. And she's, even though she doesn't know it's Denji yet, she's having this moment where she's like, it's instead of like pretending to be like above others, like I think being around similar trash to me makes me feel better. Autism sticks with autism, baby.
No, absolutely. I love this character moment we had from Asa in this chapter. She's stabbing herself with
it's like a sharp rock, I think, yeah.
Shard of glass, maybe.
Looks like a sharp rock to me.
But it's also, I was diving down the subreddit today before we filmed because I was waiting on you for like 3 hours.
Hey man, had to jerk off,
I had to jerk off and wait for your girl to go, and you were talking about how juicy she looked in her.
Yeah, she got all dressed up and she wouldn't fuck me before she left. It's fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
Jerk off, whatever.
Yeah, you had to jerk off, and
it was a copious load, Vex.
Yeah, I can imagine. I being away from my current fling for the last week.
What's your output on jerking off? How often are you doing it? Honestly. So you're getting kind of older now.
It's not just the older. It's also going through HRT. That really decreases the volume.
My load, no.
No, honestly. I was debating on getting on like T-Gel to like increase my load size.
What do you want, man? Which direction are you trying to go?
Well, it doesn't really affect my actual hormonal level as much as it does like my sexual, like I guess ferality. How much I want to fuck.
Anyway, let's keep this semi-quick so we stay on Chainsaw Man. So, but how often, I guess?
So how often? It depends on if I'm with a partner and how often I actually like feel the urge to jerk off. Like regularly, like maybe once a week now.
Nice. Damn, old man. Yeah, I'm a usual. I'll be honest. I'm a usual once a dayer. But when like it's fun when you get distracted by something like a game that you've been waiting 7 years to come out. And,
honestly.
And then you look at like your history on Safari, and you're like, when was the last time I was on a porn website? And 3 days ago, this is about to be a good load.
No, honestly, I keep 2 browsers on my phone.
How often does Denji masturbate?
Every 6 hours probably.
He's got to time it to when Nayuta's walking the dog.
Dude is a gooner, okay? He's got like 7 monitors, 8 magazines. He's browsing it.
Well, remember, with 1997, he doesn't have the internet.
Fuck, you're right. No,
so
he's got
just
like,
the magazines.
It's like Penthouse, like some Japanese magazine. He's got tentacle porn there.
Yes, and like. I was gonna say, keep in mind, he probably has to like wait until Nayuta. He's got to time it every time Nayuta's walking the dogs. It's like, all right, I got 5 minutes.
Got 5 minutes. He's not even enjoying the fact.
He just has to get the load out. He's just
like masturbating to feel something.
Please. Yeah, no, I've been there. We've all been there.
Me this morning.
So I mean, like, essentially that happens. That character moment from Asa, and then they dodge these spiky areola titties for a while.
Yeah. Can I say like the line there kind of paralleled with Makima?
Yes.
Save me, Chainsaw Man.
Definitely. Yeah, and like that's I'm glad you pointed that out. Yeah, and like we it was mentioned in part 1 that like Chainsaw Man, even before like Denji was involved, the actual Devil Chainsaw Man also has like a weakness for women, because like Makima said something on lines of like anytime. Like I'm pretty sure now I want to go back, but it was either like if a helpless devil or like a woman or something says "Save me, Chainsaw Man," like he always comes or something like that. It might have been
subconscious.
I need to go back and look, but like what I'm remembering is that like the vibe I got from actual Chainsaw Man, because remember that form he went into towards the end of part 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's like that's what my understanding is. That's what it like Pochita looked like before even meeting Denji, right? That's like its actual form. And which is weird and still needs to be fully explained. It's very strange. But like the vibe I got is that Chainsaw Man has good intentions.
Mm-hmm. Like not wanting to steal the woman's motorcycle.
No. Let me clarify. Let me finish. Because I did just recently reread this with Allie, maybe like a couple months ago. The vibe was like basically in hell, any devil that calls for help, Chainsaw Man will like speed blitz over there.
Yep.
But Chainsaw Man is so powerful that like it would accidentally on the way like just kill everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how like Gun Devil kills everything when it moves, right?
Yeah.
Because there was like a parallel, like how how like Control Devil like really wanted like hugs or whatever. There was a moment where Pochita was like, "That's all I ever wanted too," but like so like I think that's what it was like. Chainsaw Man like was like stupidly innocent, but like somehow really powerful, and like all the devil's. I don't know that I have to go back and read, but like that's what I remember. So no, there's definitely like a phrase, like that's something that Makima was talking about. How like that phrase is like almost like subconsciously like sleeper soldier like activates Chainsaw Man. So yeah.
Yep. It's wild. Like it's like the Winter Soldier, for example. Like that code phrase that would wake him up and just make him go batshit insane.
I'm gonna see if I can find that now while we're talking about it. Well, here, really quick, I'll just say they dodge the spiky titties. Then we have the motorcycle joke, and that's literally the whole chapter. Yeah. But it is funny. It's like steal that motorcycle. No, I can't. That's a woman. Steal that guy's then. Bitch, don't blame me.
And then that's the end of the chapter, and he's just got a chainsaw dick expanded out of his motorcycle.
It is really cool. I mean, and I like how like he's like driving through it, splitting it in half. I mean, this is gonna look so fire in the anime.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you ever actually watch the anime?
I watched up to episode 5.
At least like find the clips of like find him fighting Katana Man and find all the clips. Yeah. It's like really good.
I was watching it with somebody and then I just stopped because life got hectic. But it's been really like what I saw of it, like the fucking opinion of it's varied from like west to east, kind of like with Bleach.
Fuck that shit was so fucking immaculately made. I can't even imagine people.
Have you watched any of Hell's Paradise?
Sounds familiar.
So it was the Assistant's original, the dude that wrote Don Don Don. It was his manga.
No, I haven't then. Hold on, I'm Googling it.
So I started watching it while I was on my vacation.
Edo period of Japan. Here we go again with this.
It's fucking good, okay?
I know, but like I get so sick of that fucking like era and style. But like, yeah, I mean, I immediately like the art style. We got the crazy eyes. You know how I like crazy eyes. Oh, that's like a new anime, isn't it? They just started animating that.
Yeah, it just started animating it. I read the first like 10 chapters on stream.
Something new to try. I'll try it. Fuck yeah.
Also, you got a baddie in there called Yuzuriha, and I want her to crush me with her thighs. Mm-hmm. Like the fucking I retweeted a clip from it. I can't remember if it was from like my.
It's where they're like they're on the ground like wrestling and like she like kind of gets him and wraps her. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm like I want that to be me. Gabi
style looks good. I'll definitely give it a watch, see if I like it. Yeah.
I've been watching that. I've been watching season 2 of Ancient Mage's Bride, which I don't know how that studio of like 20 people improved their animation style. But my fucking god, I was like coming buckets when I saw it on screen. It was amazing.
Did you ever finish Fire Force, man?
I am on volume 12. I've been buying a volume a week or a volume every 2 weeks.
I'm telling you, man, that shit only gets better. You gotta get to the Cataclysm.
And once I finish it, I want to film a video with you.
Yeah. In like the 3 years you finish it at this point.
Listen, life, Micah, dude.
Life. I get it.
It has been like a year.
In between fucking they them pussy, you should be fucking.
No, I pretty much am exclusively like T for T at this point.
What trans?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's so relaxing to have somebody that's not going to question
I
like
can
what you're
imagine.
doing,
Yeah.
what you're doing with your life, versus like, are you sure? Do you not want to have both surgeries? I'm like, no, I don't know yet, my guy,
Yeah.
but like I know I want to get bigger titties, but like I don't know if I want to split my dick. Okay.
Yeah, that one's a tough one. Well, anyway, I mean, do we have any final thoughts on? I mean, that's
Um,
literally it, essentially.
that
Chainsaw Man.
honestly, volume.
I guess theory, like where are we going, right? I mean, at this point, we heard that they have to basically run away from this thing for like
Yep.
a while, like a day or so,
Yeah.
because like the idea is like Falling Devil will eventually get pissed, like why didn't you eat the meal I made you for you, so like the devils that the Falling Devil cooks for are desperate to eat the thing because they're like it's kind of like Big Mom's tea parties in One Piece. You got to do it, otherwise you'll be killed. So I think they'll probably run away from this thing a little longer. Maybe Yoshida will come in and help them, or maybe even like Kishibe comes in and helps them. Maybe we get like an outside force, but at some point this will end, and they're probably
Yeah.
going to go back to. I think the first time they went to Denji's house, and Denji of course was like, because originally he wanted to go to Asa's, and Asa was like, hell no. But now we might have a moment where when he like detransitions from Chainsaw Man and becomes Denji again, maybe Asa's like, okay, let's go to my place because he could explain like, yeah, no, Nayuta's. I don't know. I just want them to somehow end up at her place so they can be away from Nayuta and just like talk and like
have a normal human conversation.
Yeah, and like have a moment to really have some character development, and maybe it leads to some romance.
some bow chicka bow bow.
Well, that's after the romance. I want them to have a human connection that evolves into a physical connection.
Do you think Denji is capable of a human connection at this
I
point?
absolutely do. Yes,
Like,
I absolutely do.
As much as I want to believe that, I think he's going to be completely exhausted from this fight.
Well, I think exhausted is what he needs to be, because when he's not exhausted, he's too full of the horny. Hopefully he's so exhausted he can look past horny for 2 seconds and like talk to her like a human, and then maybe have a moment. Yeah. Like
so for me, I'm like, I don't know how much of it will be Denji and how much of it will be like autopilot from like the Chainsaw Man portion of him.
I think they can have I think it'll be fine. I think they can have a decent talk with it. She'll have to take him back and like lay him down in the bed so he can recover. And then, like while he's like exhausted and healing, they can just talk a little bit. I mean, they'll have plenty of time to talk if he's like healing in her bed. Like I just want them to. I think Denji, I don't know, needs someone to treat him like a human, and because like everyone wants to use him, right? And like I think once he get like literally everyone, like even Kishibe to an extent, you know what I mean? Like obviously in a better way, but like he wants to use
has
him
like a different mindset in what he's doing, but at the same time he really is using him to his own.
Well, if you think about it like this, right? Kishibe respects Denji, and I think he does want what's best for him. But at the same time, think like, would Kishibe be even bothering with Denji if he wasn't like a military asset? Probably not. Right. So, but this Asa would be the first person who is bothering with Denji. Completely unrelated to the fact that he's Chainsaw Man, right? It was just
that is true.
That's what I'm saying. So like that, I genuinely think that that's what Denji needs.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're right. I just want Denji to have a W that isn't regarding him being used as this like complete sociopathic jackass.
Yeah, I think the W is gonna be a genuine conversation between these two that leads into genuine consensual girl actually wants to have sex with me sex, and then that's a great W right there. That's what I'm hoping for. It's time for Denji's W. I agree completely.
Yeah. I think the next chapter is going to be the wind down of this chase. I'm hoping it's more than 3 things happening, so we can have an actual conversation about the chapter.
Oh, I know. It's like. It's a little, I don't know. I feel like once again, it's one of those things where like on reread, on like binge through, it's probably great because it's like all these big panels and like you feel, it's not like everything's scrunched in, but like it is annoying week to week for sure.
Yeah. I feel like this comes down to like the mindset we were at a few weeks ago of like just filming when we feel like filming, but since we were 2 weeks out from doing anything, we wanted to have this conversation with the audience and be like, hey, we're filming things. At the same time, like next week we can put up Goodbye Eric.
Yep.
You have it uploaded. You just need to make a
Yeah, I just
thumbnail
got
and do it.
distracted by that craziness of that week.
And you'll have that, and then maybe while we're doing the stream next Saturday, we can film Look Back.
Maybe, or yeah,
and we've talked about doing like all of Fujimoto's other stuff as well, like the 2 one-shot short mangas, because I read both of those while I was on vacation as well. Some hits.
I
some
still
misses
like
in
the
that.
idea of doing more streams where we find like absolutely degenerate psychopath manga and read
There's a
through it.
whole list that we uploaded on the main channel if you want to dive into it.
Yeah.
Ann Arbor has a spreadsheet of it as well.
I think that's very fun.
So we could do that. And we still need to read Fire Punch because that was one of the things we promised the audience. So,
True. Yeah. All right. I guess. I mean, are we peacing? Sorry,
we're piecing.
Sorry, this was a touch low energy, guys. It was just not a lot to talk about the chapter. We're both kind of tired. It'll be better in future weeks.
I have been back in Michigan for 16 hours.
yeah. I think in the future, that's why I like my favorite time to film is like right after I get out of work because I'm like I've been bouncing around. You know what I mean? I've been doing shit. My work is very highly physical, so that's the best time for me.
Job now. But
like
Fridays
I'm currently
and Saturdays.
getting off of. I mean, like the last 24 hours for me have literally just been like sitting in my dark living room playing Zelda.
I'm about to film Yu-Gi-Oh in like 10 minutes. So Fridays and Saturdays from now on for uploads for me. Peace.
Peace.